Welcome back everybody after a short break following the end of Game Week 20, where a score of 98 points saw a healthy rise up to 174k. Alphonse Areola proved an unlikely hero with an 11-point haul after making 8 saves to deny Brighton in a goalless draw. Putting Taylor ahead of Botman on the bench backfired after Matty Cash was absent through illness. There were goals from all 5 midfielders, as Salah and Son signed off in style ahead of their departures for AFCON and the Asian Cup. Richarlison continued his form with 2 big chances and 5 shots in the box against Bournemouth, tallies that were only beaten by Salah among midfielders during the round. Dominic Solanke couldn't extend his 3-match scoring streak, but no player took as many as his 9 shots in Game Week 20. Only Adebayo, Julian Alvarez and Darwin Núñez fared better for expected goals among forwards. We now have a Friday evening deadline to look forward to for Game Week 21, which spans over 10 days. Let's look ahead to the transfer plans. I had 2 free transfers available, and as you may have seen on X, I went early on Son to Bowen last week in order to leave the exact cash for Archer to Haaland if he later proved to be fit. That gamble has immediately backfired, with Bowen picking up an ankle injury late on in the FA Cup, and The Athletic are reporting he could miss at least 1 month. On the basis of those early reports, the most obvious solution now is to move Bowen straight on to the similarly priced Phil Foden, with my second free transfer. Operating centrally, the Man City playmaker has returned in 3 successive matches, supplying team-leading tallies of 11 shots and 10 attempted assists. I was already less tempted to bring Haaland in this game week after he failed to make the squad against Huddersfield in the FA Cup, and my plan now is to give Cameron Archer the start against West Ham before moving for Haaland in Game Week 22. The Norwegian was pictured back in first team training last week, but it's been over a month since his last appearance, so a start against Newcastle to me seems unlikely. So to recap, Foden is set to come in at the cost of 2 free transfers, and here's how the team is set to line up. Alphonse Areola is looking to add to West Ham's 4 consecutive clean sheets, against the Sheffield United side with 3 goals in the last 4 games. Only Fulham have scored fewer. Pedro Porro continues to hog set pieces for Tottenham in the absence of James Maddison. No player has taken as many corners since Game Week 12, while only Pascal Gross can match his 5 assists. Man United have scored just 4 goals in the last 5 game weeks, with only Brentford faring worse. Arsenal have just 1 win in 5 Premier League matches, but only Bournemouth and Man City have conceded fewer expected goals in that time. Crystal Palace have an FA Cup replay 3 days before their trip to the Emirates, which could further stretch an already thin squad. It's a choice between injury doubt Charlie Taylor and rotation risk Matty Cash for the remaining spot in defence. The Burnley left-back was forced off with a shoulder issue against Spurs in the FA Cup, and we can expect an update from Kompany before the deadline after their clash with Luton was moved to Friday night. A popular replacement for Son and Salah, Richarlison has notched 5 goals in the last 5 game weeks. Leading the line for Spurs, the Brazilian has amassed a league-high 6 big chances in that time, while only Son, Saka and Salah can improve on his 13 shots in the box among midfielders. Man United have shipped 9 goals in the same period, with only Brentford and Newcastle allowing more. With 3 goals and 2 assists in the last 4 game weeks, Cole Palmer has averaged 11 points per game. He's averaged 4 shots per game in that time, trailing only Barkley, Salah and Saka among midfielders. In the same period, Fulham have conceded a joint leading tally of 9 goals, while only Spurs and Newcastle fare worse for expected goals conceded. With 1 goal and 2 assists, Ollie Watkins is the 3rd highest scoring forward in the last 4 game weeks, behind Solanke and Wood. Only Nicholas Jackson can improve on his 1.3 expected assists in that spell. Everton will have to be mindful of their FA Cup replay with Crystal Palace, which takes place 3 days after their meeting with Aston Villa. They've lost 3 successive Premier League matches, conceding 8 goals. Dominic Solanke is a minor doubt after taking a big knock against Spurs and sitting out in the FA Cup last week. He's netted 5 goals in the last 5 game weeks, where his 23 shots is a league-leading tally. Only Richarlison has claimed more big chances than his 5. But Liverpool have conceded just 4 goals in that time, the joint fewest total along with Man City. Captaincy is wide open this game week, with Saka, Palmer and Watkins all on my radar. But as it stands, it's Bukayo Saka that I'm looking to turn to. Usually reliable at the Emirates, the Arsenal talisman has backed 4 goals and 4 assists in 9 home matches this season, averaging 6.6 points per game. No player has carved out more than his 31 attempted assists at home, while only Watkins and Salah can improve on his 31 shots. Crystal Palace have won just 1 of their last 9 matches, failing to keep a clean sheet and shipping an average of 1.8 goals per game.